Okay, and now for actually installing OBS, I just went ahead and this is a new little section I added to the video. I opened up a terminal. I just hit enter a bunch of times, so you guys didn't keep seeing my IP and all that, and I didn't have to keep refreshing my router. Just a don't ask, don't tell kind of mentality. But anyway, if you guys are interested in Stellar Blade Blood Rain at all, I ended up taking a bunch of screenshots from the trailer. Anyway, back to the topic at hand, downloading and installing OBS. There's a few different methods you can actually go about doing this. One, we're going to Paru space OBS. If you want to narrow the search down just a little bit, you could do a -studio. You can go into the Cache Hello. You can go into the apps and tweaks or the app install. I believe it's a multimedia. No. Video? Yes. So there's this one here. You can download and install it just by clicking that, hitting the button. This is the CacheOS version, the OBS-Studio. It's the same thing as the #1 option. Now, some people will argue that like the #3 option, the -OBS-Studio, well, not the plugin, well, maybe it's the plugin browser. #4 is usually the one that I hear. It's just OBS-Studio-browser is the one that you want for like the plugins and the overlays and all that kind of extra stuff. But this one's also maintained by Cache, so maybe the fact that it's labeled as a plugin browser, maybe... Oh, this is the plugin to add on to the original one. So if you do the #1, you may want to do the #3 as well. I think #4 is like it already built in. And then one other option that you may see is that if you go into the Discover Flatpak store, you'll see OBS is there as well. Now, the Flatpak version technically is the like official version from OBS, but CacheOS, the developers and maintainers of CacheOS have taken a lot of time and effort to make sure that their version fully works. So I would highly recommend that you go with like 1 and 3 or the 4. I guess for the sake of doing all this, I'm just like, I've already got 1 installed, or I should anyway. I don't know why it's not showing it. Oh, I don't have it on this PC, it's on the streaming PC. Let's just kind of verify which one. Oh shit. Verify which one that I have real quick. Hold on, let me just make sure I don't have anything crazy going on. Alright. What's this one actually? Oh, that's just from when alright. I'll close that down. If I minimize this, what's it gonna go to? The desktop. Alright. That's what we wanted. Alright, so we'll switch over to the streaming PC. Bring her down. Now I think I did it from the console, and I think I did the #1. But if we go into install, We go to video. Yeah, it shows OBS-Studio grayed out. That means it's already installed. And if I check mark it, then it's asking to uninstall or reinstall, like in case it's broken or something. And I think that's only the number 1, so I may end up actually adding the number 3 here in a minute. Again, we'll paru OBS-Studio. This is just a search. Yeah, I have number 1 installed. Technically, it's claiming I have number 2 installed just because it's like the same thing. Mine's just the V3 version. It's modified for my hardware. Like, it's made to run efficiently for my hardware if it's a V3. I've said this in other videos. There's a couple of different I guess descriptors at the end of these installs. Sometimes you'll see like a V3 or like a Zen 3 or a Zen 4. It's all about like your CPU architecture. But the V3 is what's good for me. That's what I usually run with. So that's like the most optimized. There we go. That's the word I was looking for. But it might be a good idea for me to go ahead and add 3 for the plugins. Yep. This might be what I need to get chat text on the screen for the chat window. Oh, what are you getting hung up on, buddy? Pack, man. Just for the sake of argument, let's do this. Do it again. There we go, it just took a minute. I wish the loading bar would have like showed that it was doing something, but oh no, this is just full of errors. Wow. Alright. It's good to know. I wonder if that was just a random or... That might be trying to install the whole program, so it might detect that I already have it installed, and that might be why it's... We'll just see what happens if it errors again. I'll just give up on that part. Definitely recommend just doing the number 4 then if you want those plugins. They're already built in. The internet's just acting slow too. Or maybe it's something to do with the repo or something. I don't know. Something's being slow. I don't think it's me. Well, actually, I am playing the music from... Yeah, alright, we're going to give up on that for right now. If you guys need the plugins right away, I would recommend you doing just number 4. I've experimented around and I've installed this one, I've installed that one, I've done the flat pack. I know the number 4, the studio. Let me get back over to the gaming PC. Alright, there we go. Like, I've used this flat pack version before. It works. The one kind of weird thing on why people would say not to use it is because it puts it inside of its own little, like, sandbox container because it is a flat pack. And when it asks for permissions to use, like, your video signal, audio signal, all that other stuff, it's kind of just like an extra step it has to go through. Like, it has to daisy chain it. But yeah, sometimes that can lead to, like, hiccups and issues, and this one is technically the one that, like, OBS tells you that's, like, their official version, and that's what you should install. But like I said before, on CachyOS, they update and maintain their own. I guess you would do either 3 or 4 by itself, not with one. I could probably remove one and try it again, and maybe it would work. Maybe there's just an issue with the server right now. But anyway, I have a version of OBS installed on the streaming PC, just for the sake of argument and going through all the little... I don't want to, like, erase all my scenes, and so I'm kind of going to use this as kind of like a demonstration purposes. Okay, so it's installed. I probably need to get out of that and go back into it in order for it to see it. Yeah, now it's grayed out. You don't always have to type exit. Like, as long as it shows, like, a little timer of, like, how long it took to complete and you're done, you can just hit the X if you want. But, you know, if you want to be fancy, you can type exit. From there, you jump into your OBS. Now this is going to be set up, like, the way that I'm going to do this is on a one PC setup, and then I'm going to bounce over to the streaming PC and kind of show you what I did if you're running dual. So hopefully this part of the video will kind of cover all bases for everybody. Optimize for streaming, recording is secondary. I would recommend, well, yeah, I would recommend going with that one even if you're not or like if you don't plan to be streaming a lot, but you may want to do it, even though it's not the main priority, even though it says recording is secondary. It's better to have the option than not have it and think that you have to, like, redo your OBS. So we're gonna optimize for streaming. Base canvas, we're gonna do 1080p, 60 frames, but prefer 60 when possible. So, you know, you can force it 60, you can force it 30. You can also prioritize the resolution. So oh yeah, base canvas resolution not necessarily the same as resolution when you be streaming or recording. You actually stream record resolution may be scaled down. Canvas resolution, blah 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 blah. We'll get into that a little bit later. It's not really, 9 times out of 10 you're not even going to really mess with this. Like, you can have different stream settings and you can have different record settings, so it's just making you aware that, like, they may not be the same. Depending on what you want to stream to, you can go to Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, Streamio, Twitter, Show All Others. There's a bunch of different websites that you can go to. You know what I mean? Yeah. But anyway, we'll get out of that. Oh, whoops. Can I show less? We'll just keep it with Twitch right now. You put in your stream key. You can find that in your Twitch settings. It's going to be like a really long string of these. And you're just going to copy and paste it in there. I was doing the little star button, the Shift 8. But yeah, you'll enter in your stream key information. Do a test in hand, or estimate bandwidth. Yeah, run the test. It'll kind of optimize it based on your hardware, your internet speed, all that other stuff. So do those. For me, I'm just gonna cancel this right now, just because it's going through the auto config wizard. It's gonna just be asking for all my information. Technically, you can set this up later, just by going into the settings, stream, enter your key. So like all this stuff is here. Output. Twitch usually does about 6,000 as their limit for all normal users. If you're an affiliate, I think it's a little bit higher, and if you're a partner, I think it's a little bit higher than that. But for the most part, leaving all this stuff kind of where it is pretty good. Most cheap capture cards just only do 1080p recording, so that's what you'll be doing here. You could technically like capture at 1080p and downscale it to 720. If you're doing a one PC setup, I would probably recommend doing this just because it will use less compute power resources to run the OBS and to run the stream. I know 720p doesn't sound great, but you know, you don't want your game crashing because you max out your CPU or something weird. What else do we got? Some advanced stuff that really doesn't need to get messed with that much, especially if you're just starting out. The more you get into streaming, the more you'll understand, like, find out about what these settings do and mean. For the most part, I just leave everything set up as default. The only thing that I personally do is my base canvas is 1080p, so I output in 1080p. If your PC can handle it, you can do that too. But the reason why it does this by default is just to try to save you some resources. Common FPS, you know, you may want to set this up to 60, 59.94, you know, one of these two. I usually just do 60. I don't have any issues. I'll just cancel that, leave that all regular. Yeah, I don't want to like actually mess with it. Okay, and now this is the default screen that you'll see when you open up OBS. Right now you just got desktop audio, and you can see mic audio are already in there. This is going to be the studio mic, but this is picking up the USB, not the XLR. And then you got what's going on in the desktop audio, which right now I got some music playing, so you're going to see that ticking up and stuff. But first what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to make scenes. So you can either add a scene by right-clicking, or you can hit the plus button. You can name it whatever you want. Like in this case, for this one, we'll just call it test 1. And we'll just create another one, and we'll do, you saw that it made it already scene 2, so it, by default, it'll kind of make sure that you don't duplicate names and stuff like that. So just for starters, we'll create 2 scenes. And within each scene, you're going to have a bunch of sources. Now, as far as the audio goes, the audio is already in there, but in this case, you kind of need to add a video source. So again, you can right-click. There's a bunch you can choose from. You can hit the plus, and it'll bring up the menu. On a one PC streaming setup, all you really need to go down to is screen capture pipe wire. So we'll just call this 1 of 1. 1-1, whatever. We'll set this up as, let's say, if you wanted to capture the entire desktop, we'll just say full screen. Okay. And now it's going to let you choose what you want to do. Now you can pick up the entire monitor, or you can choose a specific window that you have open. Now, for the purpose of this scene, we're doing a full screen, so we're going to click on full screen, hit OK. It's a little shifted. That is kind of weird. That's just because of the... Whoop. Oh, this is the full screen. Duh. This is like a fit to resize output source, or is this the... There we go, that's what I thought. So you get it to fit the screen, and now it's utilizing the whole screen. You can kind of manipulate this, change things around. It's a good way of me kind of... I don't have the webcam and stuff plugged into here, so I'm trying to think of a roundabout way. Well, we'll open another... Well, I wanted to do it into test 2. That way it was a different... I know what I'll do for test 2 instead. So, instead we're going to create another source. For instance, we'll do another capture screen. So this is I'm gonna use the browser, but I'm gonna use this, especially since I have it minimized and you can't really see it. But you would make this like a webcam or something, and instead of it being, well, actually, I'll have to show you that one in particular. Just hold on a second. So, like, for instance, we can do that. Hit OK. And now you see we kind of have like a window in the window. So this is how you can manipulate the size of the window itself. This is going to shrink even like the image of you. Like everything in that box is going to shrink if you just move the red lines. Now if you, what is it, hold, I believe it's Alt, and then you click and drag, yeah, you're actually you're cutting. You see how it's not altering the size? If you do this, it will alter. But yeah. So when you're setting up like a webcam or something, you're going to want to make sure like you're front and center on the screen of the webcam, because that's where it's going to focus. Don't allow yourself to be like in the corner and then think that you're just going to like cut it to that corner. No. You want to be front and center And then you want to cut yourself. Whoops, that should have been a... There we go. You get what I'm saying now? And then once you have it cut down, you can grab it, you can move it, put it where you need to. You want it in the upper corner, you want it in the bottom corner, you want to do one of these in the middle things, and whatever you want to do. When you like the edit, when you're done with it, it's best to lock it. So like in this case, we're locking the fake webcam because it's the size and the thing that we want. Whatever, you know, if this is like a full, this was how I made like my full screen game mode, and then we lock it down. And then if any reason you wanted to like remove your webcam, maybe you're like in the middle of eating or something along those lines, you could just hit the eyeball and it removes it. You hit the eyeball again, brings it right back. Now when you lock the images, like for instance with the webcam, you're not going to be able to move it. You need to unlock it, move it, relock it. Or you can just leave it unlocked, but you're going to see like these red lines, green lines, like that kind of stuff bothers me sometimes. So I always lock stuff down so it looks clean, so I know what it's doing. But yeah, that's how you go about doing that. You'll see that like if you're pushing the image off the screen, it's got like that black and gray like checker pattern, whatever you want to call it. It'll do that in like all directions. So, you know, sometimes that's a quick and easy way to kind of like remove part of, like if you got something going on in the background, you can just kind of like, you know, we'll do it there, or we'll do it there. You get what I'm saying? But keep in mind that like you're shifting your center point. So it's okay to do like a little bit, but you don't want to like overdo it. And then I guess with this one, what other source can I do? I'll use this one as like a, that's a 1 PC kind of setup. This is a 2 PC kind of setup. So now we're doing 2 PCs. We're going from one to the other. We're gonna add a source. And what I do and what I recommend is this video capture device V4L2. When you select that, you will then see like the USB 3.0. I don't know if I'll actually, yeah, I don't really have any, it's not recognizing any devices that are, so, but that's what I use to capture the desktop. So that would be like the main screen. And then you would do it again. And then you would get to this and select the webcam. So this would be like, I'm just going to change the name. This is where I have mine set up as like GPC vidcap. Then that, you know, you would just label as like, it's essentially kind of, you do the same thing. You just have to do it from an external source instead of an internal source. And then also you'll have to add the audio. So which one was this, alsa, or was this, I want to say it was audio. Okay, so audio input would be like the microphone here. Audio output is going to be what you want for the capture card in order to get like the gaming PC audio to transfer via HDMI to the USB 3.0. So you would go in here, you would hit OK, you would go to device, you would see, why is it working? Oh, because it's audio. You would see USB 3.0 video and audio. Select that. And then, as I stated before, the mic would be a input. Did that not? Oh, mic, duh. Rename GPC, GPC audio. Oh yeah, and there's also a method of layering that's involved when you're setting up all these multiple channels or all these multiple sources. I don't think the audio has a big impact on where they are. Like if we go over to my streaming PC again, just to show you what I already have going on, I tend to put the audio over what its related video. So like you see the GPC is over, or the audio. I don't think this one matters too much. I wish I could show you the other ones while still being in this mode. Is this one still? Yeah, okay. But it's also picking up the mic because I put the mic in twice. It's automatically doing a mic, but I made a mic profile. That's why we got two here. This is the one that I created. This is the one by default. For the 2 PC setup, this is going to be set up to the streaming PC mic. I tend to turn this to the, like, just so it is easily identifiable and it doesn't try to mix things up. I set this up to the webcam and then I turn it off. Trying to remember how I actually got this one to like remove itself. Desktop audio, this one. Most of the time, at the very least, you can just simply turn it down and mute it like that. And now you have like the mic profile that you made for the mixer and all. You get what I'm saying? Right now it's just, again, it's running off USB. In order to pick up the mic, it's gonna be, oh, I'm doing stuff over here and I'm still over there. Jeez, oh man. You can see how I actually have the mic labeled as the SE8 mixer. When you go into the properties of it, that's going to be what you're going to want to look for, whether you have the SE8, the SE3, or anything else. That's essentially, you're going to be looking for some kind of a source like that. You're going to be looking for the mixer, not the mic. I'll get back over to the gaming PC so I don't goof this up again. Okay. So, as I was saying before, I was talking about the mics. Sorry about that. I was trying to figure out like where I turned it off at, but I don't really remember where I actually like removed it. So in the meantime, what you can do is just hit this little like mute. You can turn the volume down. Either leave it unassigned or reassign it to something that is not really being utilized. Scene 2, streaming PC. We're gonna have the vid and the webcam. Now as you see, it's just, did I actually set this up as, why is there no, what What did I do with this thing? Hold on. We're just gonna remove it. Yes. See, that's not assigned either, unless it's just... Was it the size thing again? No, we're just gonna do this from scratch. Okay, we're gonna add a source. Oh, it's probably because I set it up as this and it's not actually there. So you're gonna do this, but for the sake of the image being on the screen, well, I guess I can just show you again on one. The main thing that I wanted to show you was just the fact that if you put the webcam like under the full screen, it's not going to be there, as you can see. Like, the box is there. I can do that and take it away. But you want to make sure that you layer things correctly. The audio is not so important. Like, I think that can be down there. You can push this down there. But when you layer the videos, that's an important step to pay attention to. And then as you resize things, move things around, do whatever you want to do. But yeah, for a one PC setup, you'll be doing like the screen cap, like this. You know, whether you want to just record the game that you're streaming on, or recording on, or you want to capture the whole desktop like this. So like I've showed you how to do both. With the webcam, or quote-unquote webcam, you know, we'll go to properties, open the selector, select just a specific window that's open, bada bing, bada boom. Yeah, for 2, you do the video for the main source. Oh, that's why I wasn't actually doing anything, because they don't exist, and I was just, yeah. Oh, jeez. Probably wind up editing out that goof up. What else did I need to do? We got the GPC, audio capture, output, pulse audio. Would be like GPC dash audio. Okay. Then we need an input. That's gonna be like the SC8. Okay, what else do I got going on over there? SC8, Facecam, GPC, audio, and VidCap. I got the VidCap, I got the audio, I got this. What else am I missing? Oh, the face. So for the Facecam, it would just be another one of these. You'd select the webcam. And then again, you would just want to make sure that your face is over the main display, and then like I have my voice over my face, and then I have the audio for the game over its video, and that's usually just how and then you lock everything down. If you want to turn off your mic, if you want to turn off your face, you know, I mean, technically you could turn off the whole stream, turn off the audio if you need to have, you know, if somebody starts dropping them, you know, bombs on the stream, and you know what I mean. You can just instantly cut the audio to the, like the game. You may or may not want to set up like hotkeys in the settings for stuff like that. There's all kinds of stuff you can do. I haven't really set this up yet, so I'm not really going to get into it, but it's pretty straightforward. You just select a key, or you know, you select an option, you hit a key for it, or a key combination. You can do like a shift this, shift that, alt this, alt that, whatever you want. And yeah. I've also heard of ways of people buying like wireless numpads and then utilizing that as kind of like a ghetto stream deck. You could just kind of have it off to the side and have your like 1 through 9, 1 through 10, a couple of stars or whatever. And you can make those all your hotkeys. That's like a real budget-oriented way of getting like a streaming deck setup, hotkey setup. You can get one on like eBay for like 20 bucks or something. I might wind up doing that. I might wind up making a video out of that. But that's pretty much it, man. Like, that's a one PC setup with a face cam, and everything would pretty much look the same. It's just the options that you need to do for the dual PC are a little bit different. You just have to make sure you're capturing video and audio from the other PC, and then your mic and your webcam, face cam, are plugged into the streaming PC, so you just set those up as independent sources. And that's really it. Let's see how long this recording is and see if I tack it onto the other one or if I make this its own little video. We'll see what happens. I may wind up having to redo this. Alright, you guys have a good one. Take care.